Text films? What? Is this not a talkie?
The Jonathan Taylor Thomas story.
He'll be around forever.
This film is one in a series. Collect them. Trade them.
The Calvin Company, where there's no such thing as free will.
National Office Management ass.
It's an international ass, too.
International ass, requiring worldwide pants.
You know, sometimes I feel sorry for people who have to run an office setup.
Yeah, it's pretty
especially
hard.
if it employs a number of girls.
What? Wait, what?
So darn many things can develop out of nothing.
Men are always completely
I've
rational
always
in
thought it
control,
was
and
just
I'll
common
f***ing smash your
sense to
face in
ignore
if you
petty
say
situations.
otherwise.
But then again, you never know. George Barnes, or G. Bennett Barnes, as he signs his name, had
Or
the same
Dickweed,
idea.
as everyone in the company
George
calls him
runs the
behind his
office end of
back.
the service department. This involves considerable correspondence.
First film
special
rendered
records, and
entirely in
complicated
latte
systems of
form.
filing. 8 or 9 girls work for George, and Betty here is what you might call the leader of the group.
A title
I
obtained
guess
via
just about
brutal
every
ritualistic
office has someone
combat.
like Betty. A little short on personality, maybe, but
Wow.
darned
I'm
efficient.
Rifflets, sheesh.
Fact is, she's been here almost as long as George. Many of the procedures and filing systems were set up by Betty in the first place.
And yet she still
Well,
makes only
to
1/4
get
his
along with my
salary.
story,
The hell is up
George
with that?
hired a new girl.
Joan, it's good to have you with us. We hope you like it here.
Thank you, Mr. Barnes. I'm sure I will.
It's not very often we have the opportunity to hire someone with your extensive background.
Most people
I'm
with
sure
your
your
qualifications
college
wouldn't even
training and
stoop to using
particularly
our
your
application
past
as
working
toilet
experience
paper.
in the service field will be a big help to us.
Well, I certainly hope so.
You'll find we're a friendly group.
For
Look
example,
around, get
want a
acquainted, see how
massage?
we
I
do
quit.
things. Then who knows? With a fresh viewpoint, maybe you'll come up with some new ideas.
Yes,
Are
thank you,
they
Mr.
flirting?
Barnes.
I don't know how you mammals
in.
work.
Well, Betty,
How's the lost skeleton of Cadaver
this
doing?
is Joan Thomas. She's replacing Sylvia. Joan
You
is
know,
Betty
she
McCall.
filed
How
that
do you do,
lawsuit
Joan?
against
I'm glad
me.
to know you. Hello, Betty.
Betty, will you take Joan and show her around the office? And
Whatever you
introduce
came
her to
in here
everyone,
for in the
I'll be
first place
happy
isn't
to.
important. Be
Thank
gone
you,
with you.
Joan.
Well, Joan proved to be an intelligent girl. quick
Hunting
to
in
grasp
packs
things,
and then
full of
circling
sound
Robert
ideas.
Muldoon.
A couple of weeks later,
Oh, Betty, do you have a minute?
What is it, Joan?
What's
I'm
this
having
file
an
marked
awful
Black
time checking
Dahlia
anything in
about?
these guarantee files. It's all alphabetical, and there are millions of them. Takes forever to find any particular one.
Well, we haven't been having any trouble.
So
The
shut
way
your
they
fat
did it in Alco,
gob.
Betty, saved a lot of time. There we broke the guarantees down by cities, and then alphabetically.
That
way,
actually
when you
makes a
wanted to
lot of
check one,
sense.
You could do it in a jiffy. Seems we could save a lot of time if we do it that way here.
Yeah.
But we've been getting by all right so far. I don't see much percentage in changing now.
I can
Mr.
have you
Barnes
destroyed.
said- Well, I just thought it would save time for everyone, especially me.
Well, I'm sorry we don't do things more to your way of thinking. Perhaps the Malco was better organized.
No, I didn't mean it that way, Betty. I
Well,
just thought it
okay,
would be
I
easier
basically
for everyone
did.
If we would do it the other way.
that's how the situation first developed. A little friction between a competent old employee and an intelligent, experienced new one.
It's also how a
Well,
lot of dirty
it wasn't long
fanfic starts.
until-
Oh, Danny loved dinosaurs. He wished he had. Oh!
Come in. Oh, good morning, Betty.
It's me, the
How are
skeleton.
things going?
Mr. Barnes, I've never had any trouble in the office as long as I've been here.
Except for
think
that
you'll
time
agree
I
I've
snapped
always
and thought
gotten
I
along
was an
with the other
antelope.
girls.
Certainly. What's the matter, Betty?
It's that new girl, Joan Thomas. Just because she's been to college and worked service in a couple of other places, she tries to lord it over everyone. Everything we do is inefficient. Now, she says, our guarantee filing system is no good. And I developed that system, Mr. Barnes, over 8 years ago, and it's worked.
You developed
Now, all
putting
of a sudden,
things
it's
in
no good.
alphabetical order?
Well, this is probably my fault. I did say something to Joan about new ideas.
That's what
Well,
I
make
get for
suggestions.
encouraging people to
I'm sure
think.
it's nothing personal as far as you're concerned.
Even the other girls, even they're getting critical. And I
They're
spent
putting up
years getting
YouTube
those
videos
files
where they
to
shoot
they
toy
are
guns
now.
and yell a lot.
You've done a good job. We all think a lot of you.
Most of which we
appreciate
can't
what
say in
you've done.
public.
I count on you to keep things rolling out there.
So I can
I'll tell
stay
you
in
what,
here all day in
I'll
color.
talk to her and... Now, don't worry. I'll talk to her.
Now, if you'll excuse me, the glass ceiling people just called up help my order.
George Barnes is an efficient, conscientious man. But he's also a busy man.
Crosswords are hard.
He didn't talk to Joan that day, or the next day.
In fact, he never left
Or
his
the
chair
next.
all week.
As a matter of fact, George Barnes thought the whole thing would blow over, that he could avoid making a mountain out of a molehill.
Or the basic
Stopping his
responsibilities
chain
of being a
reaction disharmony in
manager.
his department by just letting it alone. And he could be right. But one day, a couple of weeks later,
He stepped out of his office into the streets of
Joan, do you have the
Kabul.
Alpine Service Company's monthly and warranty report file on your desk? I can't find it anywhere.
Alpine?
You know, works with bazooka and quick kick.
No, I don't, Betty. It must be in the files.
I've been looking in the file for half an hour and I can't find it.
And I
Some of
didn't
your
think
files
to
are
ask
filled up
anyone
with
else that
Yeah?
whole time.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you.
We
The
staged a
girls
coup
and
and
I were talking
overthrew
the other day,
you.
We figured out it would save time if the in-warranty reports were separated because...
I mean, it's
well, they
basically
have to be
over. The
filed
love
upon
just
us
isn't there
anyway.
anymore.
Here, let me show you.
All I need to know is, who do you think you are?
I'm the
I fixed those
goddamn
files in the first
Batman.
place, and let me tell you, Mr. Barnes is going to hear about this.
As soon as his nap is over.
But, Mr. Barnes, she's changed the whole file around. I spent an hour looking for just one report. She's tearing down everything I spent years to build up.
And I've never
What did
seen
she
her
say when
blink.
you
She's
talked
a
to her?
lizard person, I tell you.
Well,
Hey!
You did talk to her, didn't you?
No, frankly, I forgot to do it. It slipped my mind.
I
thought
figured
of it
once your
later,
cycles
and
synced,
then
you'd
I
be
thought,
gossiping about shoes
well,
and
it'll
whatnot.
probably take care of itself.
But I told you she was becoming impossible.
She's
Mr. Barnes,
transversing the
I
sixth
thought you appreciated
dimension.
all I've done here.
I do, Betty. I just didn't expect such resistance to new ideas.
Or that I'd actually have to manage people under my employ. More important question is, why is this clown in charge?
Look, Betty, why are you making such a big deal of this? We make cheese straighteners, for crying out loud. We haven't sold one since the Hoover administration. Soon as our government subsidy runs out, we're all out in the street. So just cash your checks, look busy, and buy gold while you have the chance. Now get out of my office. It's 2:30, Romper Room is on, and I have a very important fan letter to Mr. Doobie to write. Become a Patreon sponsor of the show, and awesome things will happen to you.
See episodes early without mid-rolls, join us for live stream events, and more.